For my third narrative critique, I am doing Katherine Kavinsky. So, first and foremost, how effectively does the artist use elements and principles of design/photography in composing the image? Um, with this image, it's kind of hard for me to find line. There's a lot of clutter in this, which I think kind of brings emphasis to her with all the clutter around her. Um, for me, I usually, when I'm trying to find line, I look at people's eyesight or things that they might be pointing at, things of that nature. But it kind of just, with the way that the books, the notebooks around her are placed, I think it creates an emphasis on her just being almost dead, lifeless on the floor. This makes it seem like there's little to no movement. She's passed out, she's asleep, something of that nature, with the book being opened. It brings emphasis to the fact that she is on the floor, exhausted, no movement, sleeping, something of that nature. And in a sense, it kind of brings emphasis to the books around her, like what's going on in this image. Why is she asleep? Why does she have a book open? She's exhausted from studying, is the first thing that I think of. The weight in this picture is kind of the way that it's taken. It's taken at her feet. So the weight in this picture is down on the image and kind of towards the top of it, in a sense, just the way that the picture's taken. But I'd say for the most part, the weight of the image is down. The space in the image, it does kind of seem wide out, spread out. It does seem like it's a big open area. My reason for saying that is it's a human being laying on the floor, so it's measurable. I have something that I can measure in my mind, something that I can compare things to. So with the books, I know the size of notebooks, things of that nature. I know that they're different sizes, but it gives me the idea of there's a human being on the floor with books, spread out 2 feet from her, wide open, kind of creates an open area. The organic shapes, obviously, there are. There's her, there's the books. It's something that's tangible in my mind, as I know that is organic. But what's the image about? The first thing that I think of when I see this image, and I've looked at the ones prior and the ones that she took after this image, but this is her being exhausted from school. So a college kid, been studying, there's note cards everywhere. Obviously been studying for a really long time, so she's really exhausted and just fell asleep with her book open. I think that's really cool. Her idea behind this image was really interesting. I think maybe it could have been done putting things a little closer, maybe a close-up on her, on a desk, maybe that might have been better, like with a bunch of papers and note cards around her, instead of just laying flat on the floor with everything around her. I think that, yes, using a lot of books and notebooks in this image and the note cards does create a powerful, gives you an idea of why she's on the floor, why she's sleeping. But I think it could have been done just as well on a desk with a bunch of papers open, or laptop open, something like that, with no cards scattered everywhere. She looks stressed out. It could have been done in the same way, but just in a different manner, something that's more almost realistic. Instead of, I guess this is realistic too, in a sense. Maybe I can't seem to think of it that way, because I see myself studying at a desk and passing out that way, the sleep, instead of laying on the floor with my books wide open. So that's what I think that could change in the image, and that concludes my critique on Catherine's picture.